Hi again, everybody. Steve Hallstrom here at Luther Family Ford. We are excited to be here for the May Salute to Law Enforcement. Amazing how the time rolls past, and thankfully spring is finally here, although I don't know, I think we might have gone right into summer the way it's been going, but nobody's going to be complaining with wonderful days like today. Making the day even better, we get to salute some great people in law enforcement who keep our community safe and secure. So welcome to our program for this month. Today we are honoring the Cass County Sheriff's Office led by Sheriff Jesse Johnner. Jesse, thanks so much for coming, and got a good crew of your people here today, so we appreciate you guys very much.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for taking time to recognize.
You got it. Yeah, and we'll have a couple words from Jesse here in a moment. Want to send a special welcome to the team from Cass County Sheriff's Office as well, and really great to see so many of you all here today, so thanks for coming out as well. Thanks as well to Brian Mosier and the team here at Luther Family Ford for helping us do this and have a good time each month. And Brian, this is something that I know means a lot to you all and for us as well. It's just nice to take a few minutes and remember to appreciate these folks that do the great work here.
Yeah, it is. You know, we look forward to this every month, and we truly do appreciate everything you guys do, so just know that we're behind you.
Yeah, same here. Thanks very much, Brian. The folks at Luther Family Ford and us at AM 1100 The Flag and AM1100theflag.com have been doing this now about 5 years or so, and it's really fun each month to honor these local heroes for what they do each day. So with that said, it's time to meet this morning's honoree, and I'm happy to introduce to you this morning Corporal Ross Krause. Let's give him a big congratulations here this morning. Ross, so what does it mean to be honored by the department this way?
Well, it means a lot. You know, there's a lot of folks we have that deserve an honor like this, and it's humbling to get it myself. And you know, I would personally say I don't deserve something like this, but obviously someone just thinks I do. But yeah, just any one of our men or women could be honored, and it just feels good to be the one.
Yeah, well, they sure appreciate you. We know that. And welcome as well to Bob's mom and dad and Buddy Ben, who are here as well. Thanks for joining us here today as well. Good to have you with us here. So let's tell you a little bit about Ross, and want to say thanks to Angie from the team for sending over a write-up on Ross. Ross Krause grew up in Gwinner, North Dakota, where he attended North Sargent Public School. After a childhood that could only be described as ideal thanks to his great parents, Bob and Gail, Ross attended a few colleges in the state trying to figure out exactly the direction for his future. Eventually, he found his way into the automotive repair world, where he learned under some top-notch automobile technicians, eventually becoming ASE certified as an automotive technician himself. Right now, Brian is thinking about hiring, and so you can't...
You can't hire him.
No, okay, so got hands off here on this deal. In 2010, Ross met the love of his wife, Tiffany. While Ross loved the automotive repair world, Tiffany encouraged Ross to take a chance and do what he always wanted to do, which was pursue a career in law enforcement. Ross attended Rochester Community and Technical College from 2012 to 2014 and obtained an associate's degree in law enforcement. Shortly after graduating in the summer of 2014, Ross also completed the Minnesota S.K.I.L.S Law Enforcement Academy at Rochester Community and Technical College. In 2015, in July, after Ross and Tiffany completed school and moved back to the area to start a family, Ross was hired as a deputy in corrections with the Cass County Sheriff's Office. Under a year and a half later, he was promoted to patrol deputy within the patrol unit of the Cass County Sheriff's Office. Since then, Ross has been the recipient of 5 life-saving awards, multiple meritorious unit citations, has served as a field training officer, has assisted as a co-FTO coordinator, attended specialized trainings in topics like radar, LIDAR, am I saying that right, Jess? LIDAR, okay. And we'll ask him what that is here in a minute. Child passenger safety and methods of instruction. Ross was recently honored by his peers as the Supervisor of the Year for the Cass County Sheriff's Office for the year 2022. In his off time, Ross enjoys spending time with Tiffany and their 2 amazing daughters, Elsie and Lenora. Tiffany is also due to give birth to their 3rd daughter just about any time now, so many more congratulations will be on the way. Ross, very cool. All right, before I forget to ask this, tell me what LIDAR is.
So LIDAR stands for light detection and ranging, which is a kind of a nerd term, or it's basically when you see the cops looking through the handheld radar type device, it uses a laser to shoot at a car and get a speed.
Okay, all right. So you've your kind of first love was cars, but
Yep.
It sounds like maybe way back in your mind and your heart there was some law enforcement there too. Tell us about growing up and trying to figure out the right path for you.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly wasn't easy. I think I attended every college in the state, it felt like, at one point, doing a bunch of different things, but as a kid, I had a lot of positive law enforcement examples and honestly some negative ones. And kind of did some critical thinking and kind of put together what I think a law enforcement officer should be, and wanted to achieve that one day. Never really got that opportunity until my wife convinced me to kind of get my life together, as they do. Shout out to Tiffany. She'll watch this for sure. I always had a positive example in my father. He served in Vietnam. Of course, I didn't know him back then. I'm a little younger than that. Sorry, Dad. And it's ever since then, ever since I can remember, I was a little kid, he's served with the American Legion and done a lot of great things for the community and the members of it. So I always kind of wanted to follow in his footsteps and be kind of a servant leader in the community. And I also want to be in law enforcement, so it all fell together for me.
What do you enjoy the most about what you do?
I love going out and building connections, meeting members of the community. Just get out of the car, talk to people, meet people. The old adage, I just wanted to help somebody, is still true today after all these years. I just want to get out and make someone's life better that day.
5 life-saving awards, pretty cool. Tell us a little bit about that. What's that experience like when you brought somebody through a really difficult time?
Well, it's obviously awfully stressful, something like that happening. It's something I never want to have to do, but I'm glad I've been put in a scenario where I've been able to be so successful so many times, and that comes back a lot to training and development and stuff we've had in this department. I was just the one who was there, who had the same training everyone else has. So I got very lucky in some of those, but I fall back on the great training I've had that really made me work fast in those situations.
Brian and I talk about this all the time. We don't really know what it's like to have a job where you get up and you don't know what the day is going to hold quite that way. We might have a bad clerical filing or something like that, but it's really, when you think about what these folks do every day, Brian, it's pretty amazing when you think of what they are in the middle of most days.
Yeah, every day is something different, right? Mm-hmm. You never know what you're going to encounter during the day, and I've been there. It's 90% of it is kind of boring, but 10% will scare the heck out of you, right? Yeah. Or you're really on your toes. So it is a career path that takes special kind of people, and all these special people are here. So
no question. Speaking of this great team here, what does it mean to have so many of them here with you today?
Oh, it means a ton. Just the support I've gotten my whole career. I mean, most of these people in here I've either worked directly with or worked under, and to see them here celebrating me, while it feels strange and like I said, it feels a little undue still, but it means the world to me.
I want to visit with Sheriff Johnner here too. Jesse, I'd like to visit with the head of the office when we do these, to kind of get a sense for what you're seeing in the community, what you're working on. But first, we had this wonderful write-up on Ross, but just tell us in plain terms what he means to your team.
Well, just like the write-up says, I mean, and like he mentioned, servant leadership is very important to him. Like he mentioned, he's been put into situations where he's been in a life-saving situation and never hesitated to respond, was able to work through those situations, obviously very stressful situations, and that's just kind of the personality that he brings and the work ethic that he brings to his job every day. He comes in, he doesn't get involved in a lot of drama or anything like that in the office. He's goes to work as soon as he gets there, and leads our men and women of the patrol division very professionally, and goes out and does his job. Very much a leader by example. He's not directing other people to do the job. He's actually out there doing it himself. And as he mentioned with his parents, I've had an opportunity to know his dad now for a period of time, and it's definitely a reflection of how they've brought him up to lead the way that he does. So.
A couple of things we hear in the news. I always like to get a couple of comments on things we hear about. Seems like springtime comes around, and we seem to get more pursuits and chases than maybe we do in the middle of winter, and that creates some concerns. Tell us what you're seeing.
Yeah, as most people have probably seen, we've had several press releases in the media lately for people fleeing from us. It's been a problem over the last couple of years. We're seeing them pretty regularly. During this last legislative session, there was a bill that we were trying to push forward to give us a little bit more ramifications if people are going to flee from us, because a lot of times in these situations they're obviously very dangerous, because people are running at high speeds through the city, blowing intersections, and when they're doing that and they have a total disregard for the other motoring public, it puts a lot of people at risk. And so we're very concerned that at some point someone's going to get hurt from these things, and it seems like they're just becoming more regular, and people are just having disregard for law enforcement and law and order.
I know you're also working on a big project with the jail. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've been in a situation over the last couple of years where we've had capacity issues in the jail. Our capacity in there is 348. We've been running around 330 from time to time, on average about 320, 330 in that area. And it's really been restricting some access when law enforcement officers make some arrests, whether it's in the city of Fargo, West Fargo, the Highway Patrol, our officers. There's been times where they haven't been able to bring people into our facility. And certainly we're making those calls based on the risk to the society and public safety. But yeah, we've just been experiencing capacity issues in there, and so a couple of years ago I approached the commission and said, hey, we need more capacity in the jail to provide public safety, or to continue to provide public safety. And so they were very fortunate, and I appreciated the working relationship I have with them. And now we're going to be adding on another pod to the jail. So that's definitely gonna, it's definitely needed. As our community grows, we're gonna have problems that grow with the community. And so we definitely need to have that space available to us.
How many more beds will that bring in? What will the capacity be then?
Bring approximately 192 beds.
Okay.
And we're even looking at that and kind of concerned that that's probably going to fill up pretty quick. So unfortunate that we need the space, but we need to be able to provide public safety when our officers make arrests. So
Jesse, thanks so much for you and your team, all that you do, and for getting this going here today. We appreciate you very much.
Yeah, thanks for recognizing the men and women of the Cass County Sheriff's Office. Corporal Krause today, Brian, thank you. We definitely appreciate the support that you've given our office. We always say that we have great community support here, and that's definitely apparent from the work that you guys do and from what we hear up on this day from our citizens. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jesse. We appreciate that. Ross, am I saying your last name wrong? Krause or Krause?
Krause.
Krause. Okay, apologies for that. Thank you. I should have asked. We also want to make sure that we pass along a little gift here as well. Brian, the team at Luther Family Ford donated a $100 gift card to the officer or the person being recognized, and they have done so again this month, and great little thing that they do there. Ross, is there a particular place that you'd like that to go?
I'd like to see you go to Fix It Forward Ministry in Fargo. They do a lot of great work with repairing vehicles and donating. I think they've donated hundreds of vehicles now to people in the community that are in need. And working in the automotive world, I know how important it is for someone who may be down on their luck to have a working vehicle to get things turning right again. So
sounds good. We'll make sure that gets over to them. Yeah, thank you for passing that along as well. Sandy's Donuts also saying thank you to everybody involved here. They'll be making a delivery to Luther Family Ford as well as Cass County Sheriff's Office. And we've created an honoree section on our website, am1100theflag.com, where you can read more about Ross and all the other honorees in this program. And in the days ahead, he'll be joining Kevin and Alex on the Need to Know Morning Show on AM 1100 The Flag as well for a radio version of this ceremony that we're doing right here. Last thing I'd like to say, that in our news operation, when law enforcement takes action and it makes headlines, we give the benefit of the doubt to the people who protect and serve this community. We know the training they go through, we know the work that they do to be prepared for those situations, and we respect that very much. So with that, we'll bring an end to this edition of the Salute to Law Enforcement here at Luther Family Ford. But before we do that, would you again please join me in congratulating Corporal Ross Krause. And we'll see you back here next time on AM1100theflag.com.